The Spider-Verse is finally here. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is rumored to make a cameo, a huge rumored twist to that cliffhanger. And are the filmmakers setting this finale up to launch a brand new cinematic universe? We've got plot details, first looks, and much more for you. That's right, folks. We're talking about the final entry in a trilogy that feels like around 1 billion times by now. But don't worry, we've got you covered. So sit back, relax, and heck, grab a bagel whilst you're at it. This is everything we know about Beyond the Spider-Verse. This is your preview unlocked. So first things first, yes, the movie is happening, but you might want to get comfy because Sony isn't dropping Beyond the Spider-Verse until June 25th, 2027. I know, that feels like 5 lifetimes in internet years. But after the strikes, the rewrites, and the mountain of animation work, honestly, I'd rather wait for a masterpiece than get a rushed mess. Now, where are we actually picking up? Well, right where Across left us dangling. Miles is stranded in Earth 42, a universe with no Spider-Man, and who's waiting for him there? His own evil variant, Miles G. Morales, better known as the Prowler. Meanwhile, Gwen Stacy isn't sitting around moping. She's out there pulling her Spider Squad back together, ready to break him out. Rewinding to March 31st, 2025 at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, Sony finally pulled back the curtain on Beyond the Spider-Verse. No public trailer yet, but behind closed doors, they played an exclusive preview that had fans hyped. It kicked off with a fast, glitchy recap of the first 2 films before cutting to new footage showing Miles and Gwen racing through the city on a motorbike. The Spot draining the color out of the world and twisting into something much more dangerous. And our Miles standing face to face with Prowler Miles, with Uncle Aaron right there at his side. The preview ended on Miles saying, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing." Smash cut to the title card. Sony didn't release the footage, but they did drop official stills that same week, including the showdown between the 2 Miles and a new shot of Gwen with him, just enough to keep everyone on the edge of their seats until the real trailer drops. I mean, it's not like we've been waiting over 2 years for this movie or anything, but better than nothing, right? As for the cast, of course, the 2 big ones are locked. Shameik Moore is back as Miles, and Haley Steinfeld is back as Gwen. Alongside them, the rest of the Spider Society gang is returning too, from Peter B. Parker to Hobie to Pavatur and beyond. Honestly, if we sat here and listed every Spider person and side character showing up, we'd be here until the movie actually drops in 2027. And yes, the rumor mill says Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, and Spider-Ham are swinging back into the mix with a bigger role this time around, reuniting the full Into the Spider-Verse crew. Behind the scenes, the Spider-Verse Dream Team hasn't gone anywhere. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are back on writing duties with David Callahan, while Bob Persichetti, who co-directed Into, and Justin K. Thompson from Across are back in the director's chairs. And of course, Daniel Pemberton is returning too, which basically guarantees at least 3 tracks will live rent-free for the whole of 2027. The whole crew knows this is the finale, the big send-off for Miles' trilogy, and they're throwing absolutely everything at it.
Monster Math presents multiplication. Okay.
Smooth sailing getting here. Well, nearly here. Over 100 animators reportedly left across the Spider-Verse because of the brutal workload and constant last-minute changes. That crunch alone made the idea of Beyond releasing in 2024 basically impossible. Then the Hollywood strikes hit in 2023, shutting down voice recording and pushing things back even further. Sony actually removed the movie from the release calendar altogether until they were sure it could be finished properly. And if that wasn't enough, there was insider talk that the entire script got scrapped and reworked after Across. Apparently the team wasn't happy with the original ending and wanted to refine it so the trilogy lands in a big emotional way. There was even an AI controversy at one point when Sony's CEO floated the idea of using AI to speed things up. Thankfully, the filmmakers quickly reassured fans that the Spider-Verse's signature look will stay human-made, not machine-generated. So no Miles Morales with 6 fingers around here. Now onto the juicy part. Ever since that cliffhanger, theories have exploded. Some fans are convinced Miles will break the canon by saving his dad, proving Miguel wrong once and for all. Others believe the tragedy is unavoidable, and that Jeff will die no matter what, with the real twist being Miles learning you can't outrun fate. And then there's the darker theory. What if it's not Jeff, but Rio, his mom, who dies instead? It would be brutal, but it would also fit the Spider-Man tradition of shocking personal loss. And then then we've got Prowler Miles. The cliffhanger at the end of Across blew the fandom wide open, and the big theory is that he won't just stay an enemy. Maybe my favorite theory is that the two Miles could actually team up. Are Miles trying to pull his darker double onto the side of good? But here's the twist that's got Reddit buzzing. What if Prowler Miles only plays along, lures our Miles into trusting him, and then betrays him right when it matters most? If he pulls that off, forget the spot. Prowler Miles becomes the real endgame villain of this trilogy. When it comes to Miguel O'Hara, the fandom is split right down the middle on him. Some people are convinced he's already the villain of this story, twisting the whole idea of canon events to cover up his own mistakes. Other fans see him as a tragic figure, not evil, just broken, which sets him up for a redemption arc in the finale. But the juiciest theory, Miguel will actually sacrifice himself in the final fight with the Spot. It would be the ultimate full circle moment. The guy who spent a whole movie lecturing everyone about canon finally proving he's more than a rulebook enforcer by laying it all on the line. There's even speculation that Miguel made the whole canon event thing up, manipulating the Spider Society to keep control. If that turns out to be true, it makes him even more of a dark reflection of Miles. One Spider-Man ruled by fear, the other by hope. And if he does die, a lot of fans think it'll be in the most poetic way possible, saving the very kid he once tried to stop. And of course, if we're talking rumors and speculation, we can't ignore the crossover chatter. Rumors keep flying that Tom Holland might cameo, possibly even Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. Fans are desperate to see Miles meet the Spider-Men of other universes. Sony hasn't confirmed anything, but given how wild the Spider-Verse movies have been with cameos already, it's hard to rule out completely. Let's be real, the way things are going, we might even see Lego Spider-Man again at this rate. Miles' trilogy might be heading for its finale, but that doesn't mean Sony's putting the Spider-Verse universe on the shelf. Yep, we've got spin-offs on the way, folks. The big one is Spider-Punk. Hobie was the breakout star of Across, and now Daniel Kaluuya isn't just voicing him, he's co-writing his own animated solo movie. No release date yet, but it's officially happening. There's also Spider-Women, a project that would throw Gwen together with Jessica Drew and Cindy Moon, aka Silk. It's been floating around for years, but Sony insists it's still alive. If it finally lands, it could be the Spider-Verse's answer to a girl gang movie, which would finally give Gwen the lead role she deserves. And then the curveball, Spider-Noir. Nicolas Cage is officially back, only this time in live action. Filming wrapped in March 2025, and Amazon has already dropped the first official image of Cage in costume, trench coat, fedora, the whole noir vibe. Even some set photos leaked during the LA shoot last year, so fans have already had a taste. The series is set in a grimy 1930s New York, heading to Prime Video in 2026. And somewhere in the background, John Mulaney keeps teasing a Spider-Ham solo outing. He even joked about doing it like a Watergate thriller. Yep, Spider-Ham investigating scandals, but so far it's just talk. Still, the fandom's obsessed enough that it doesn't feel impossible. So while Beyond the Spider-Verse will close the book on Miles' trilogy, it's clear Sony isn't done telling stories in this world just yet. So there you have it. Beyond the Spider-Verse is shaping up to be an ambitious finale, a movie delayed by strikes, rewrites, and animation battles, but also one packed with big story twists, multiverse rumors, and fan theories that just won't quit. If it pulls this off, it won't just be a great Spider-Man movie, it could go down as one of the greatest trilogies in superhero history. But now it's over to you. Do you think Miles will change his destiny? Is Miguel heading for redemption or disaster? And are we getting that Tom Holland crossover moment? Drop your predictions in the comments, and the best ones might even get featured in a future episode. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Preview